My name is Micah Moore. I work here at a Rockland Treatment Center as the admissions coordinator. I mean, I guess to break it down a little bit, I help people get out of jail, to come to treatment, to get their lives back on track.
So we talk about that moment of clarity, that we had, because you're in recovery.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been clean?
I'm coming up on 3 years in October.
Congratulations. Congratulations. So what was that moment of clarity for you?
When I decided I wanted to be clean,
Mm-hmm.
well, it was a long, arduous journey for me to become clean, like really clean. I went to treatment 7 times, and that 6th time they put me in a house counselor, if you will, where I would help new clients. It was actually the Phoenix House in Tuscaloosa, and I got kicked out for giving a girl a cigarette. And they called it rat medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So went back on the run and finally caught up with me, and I sat in jail for 5 months, and finally went to another treatment center. And when I got to that treatment center, I said, okay, I'm going to do it right this time. I'm going to take suggestions and do whatever it takes to have a life worth living and not just surviving. So that's what I did from about 22 when I started doing meth. I did heroin when I was 18 on, but when I started doing meth, I got a false sense of living, but it wasn't really living. It was just surviving and not overdosing as much as I was. So it was, my mom told me, because I've been in treatment so many times, and she always told me to customize my recovery. I have to want it. I have to find something in my life that I love more than getting high, because I have to be honest with myself. I love getting high.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Mm-hmm. But what I have today, I love so much more than just being the shell of the person that I was.
Right. So your family, and I don't know anything about your family, but did they do the tough love? Did they enable some? Was it just something they learned along the way?
All the above. D.
Okay.
My mom learned everything she knows about addiction through me. Mm-hmm. She's never smoked weed, rarely drinks. I'm the oldest of all my brothers, and me and my younger brother, the one right under me, we dabbled, or he dabbled in drugs with me, but I took it to the deep end, started doing heroin. But at first, my mother enabled me. She didn't think anything was wrong with me, that I could just stop doing drugs, like I could stop doing cigarettes. Mm-hmm. Not really the same thing,
right.
But she, at one of the treatment centers I was at, she had to attend a Al-Anon, which is for the family. Mm-hmm. And that's when she really started understanding what addiction was. So she really educated herself, and that's also when she stopped bailing me out of jail and putting money on my books, because she learned that she was fueling my addiction through her, you just said it, enabling. Mm-hmm. So those last couple of times going to jail, it's not that no one was there for me, it's that I had to figure out how to fix my own problems, because no one could save me. I had to save myself. Mm-hmm. And that did not make me very happy when she stopped doing that. But it's the best thing she could have ever done, was cutting me off.
Describe yourself in 3 words in active addiction.
Oh, a train wreck, hopeless, just a bad person. I mean, I'm a very, ever since I was a child, I love putting smiles on people's faces. But the only thing I cared about in active addiction was putting a smile inside of me with filling that void,
right,
which I could never fill.
Right. And today, describe yourself in 3 words.
Awesome.
Yeah.
full of life. Now, full of life is not really one word, but happy, truly happy, and alive.
Yeah.
No one ever said getting clean was going to be stress free.
Right. Right.
Well, I tell clients all the time, it's 100%. One part of me teaching classes, when I do teach classes, I sit up there and talk about myself because I am them, you know. But I tell them, you know, we didn't have to worry about stress in our active addiction because we were getting high, we were numbing. So now we're not having that substance numb us, and it's stress. It's just life. It's part of life, and part of your recovery, or my recovery, is learning how to deal with that stress.
So how do you deal with that stress?
Medicine. Not just
Whatever.
Most of my tattoos that I've gotten in my life have come after my active addiction. One, because I didn't have any money, but they all remind me to stay calm. Like I have a tattoo of the chaos symbol. And the chaos symbol is actually two symbols. It's got I guess I'll pull up right there. It's got all the arrows going out like in a compass, but in the middle you got a complete circle, because out of the chaos you find the order. So even in this job that I do, it's very stressful, but I have to find the order in the chaos.
Right.
And it's a constant journey of trying to find that order.
It is. I struggle with finding that middle ground because we're extremists. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's like my personality. You know, I'm either asleep or I'm going 100 miles an hour. That's just what I do. And that's I have another staff member that reminds me a lot of myself in early recovery. And he's very ADHD, just like myself. And I tell him all the time, man, you got superpower. ADHD is, you can either destroy yourself or change the world, because you can do so many things at one time, and it's just finding that order in the chaos we call life.
Right. So you are a peer support?
Oh yeah, certified recovery support specialist.
Yeah. So tell me about that, just a little bit about that.
Well, a recovery support specialist is someone who helps other peers, other addicts, to find peace in their lives and in recovery. And the best tool a recovery support specialist can use is their story. And you know, that's definitely the best part about being a recovery support specialist, because I spent 10 to 15 years in active addiction, and you know, people will say I wasted my life away for 15 years, but that's not true. I have 15 years of experience to help other people.
That's right. What are you the most grateful for?
Finally having the discernment to live the life that I was always supposed to have.
What do you want to see yourself 5 years from now?
Oh man, that's on one side that's kind of an unfair question, because going to treatment so many times, it's been hammered in my head to live one day at a time. You know, now that I am in long-term recovery, you know, we have to make plans.
Right.
We do. I still struggle with that.
I do too.
But I'm actually getting married September 4th.
Good.
Got 2 bonus kids. I don't call them step kids, but bonus kids. But one thing I missed growing up was having a father be what I thought, or what society says is supposed to be a father. My mother was mom and dad. So I see myself in 5 years being a good father.